forum itself is a very positive way forward. Yesterday I was here with another group talking about how void decks can be redeveloped. So these are all very positive things. So the void deck project, for example, on Monday they are going to go down to visit the ground and talk to the aunties and uncles and say what exactly do you want from the design and all that. So I think these are all very positive things that's happening. I think from a civic movement standpoint, Singapore is of course very far away from other places. In Hong Kong, for example, when you try to touch the pier and you're going to remove the star barrier, but they can go on for weeks demonstrating against that decision, but in the end they still went ahead and destroyed the place. But it shows that they actually voiced their opinion. They say that this is our memory, we don't want it to be removed and all that. So I think that this forum itself shows that we are moving one step forward. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, actually, just a little bit of addition, because I was, as what I mentioned just now, I was brought over to the light side. Who involuntarily volunteered me for the BMP workshop. So after going through all this, right, because I really think it's a very good workshop. Okay, I'm not just advertising and just talking all the good things about it, but I was actually talking to Joshua about, you know, if I had underwent BMP when I was maybe a fresh JC student, I don't know whether I would still take architecture. Because, you know, it's really architecture, urban planning, design. It's really, how are you going to look at the spaces, or how do you create spaces for people, right? We have to admit this, architects actually have social responsibility, very heavy one indeed. So, actually I was brainstorming, should I really take architecture after, you know, going through all this site survey as a 17-year-old, or should I go into banking where money is, you know? So it's really whether money or whether is it social responsibility. So that's really looking at it. But coming to the perspective of how, you know, we should really approach urban planning as this fresh of people and how we can get everything moving, right? I think education is really the way to go, because by educating people, you're actually asking them whether, are you making a choice or not? So it's really empowering people on a choice that they can make in the environment. So I think that's really very precious, and letting the public know it's not just about propaganda. Okay, you know what, URA promote this, okay, let's just do it. But instead, letting people have a choice, I think that's more important in the current context.
Can I say something? Yeah. Enough lung power.
Right, baby?
Actually, I want to applaud React. I believe what we're talking about, the process already started. And it started with the Design My Place program. So I thank React for that. And I had the opportunity to be a part of it in a small way as well. And I think, again, after speaking to Home today, I think that with AUD through UIA, or vice versa, how do we say it? I'll say the wrong thing. And there is a lot of support from that. And having gone through the Design My Place as well, right? Although it may have started as something that we like to bring to the students, and as happy as I was having experienced the lights come into their eyes, and that's really, really nice to see and enjoy. There were light bulbs that also lit up in the eyes of the facilitators, the URA, the people who sat on the panel of the critic, because they go like, oh my goodness, this is how they saw Chinatown, you know? We're going to do something about it, you know? So it is already working. So the fact that they continue to support you means that you need to start up with one, and then it just goes in 2, 3, and 4. So that's what I want to say, that it's already started for me.
I think when we talk about community and people driving this kind of ideas forward, it really just needs one voice to start the whole avalanche. And I think all of us sitting in here today, if we believe that this is the way to do it, it doesn't take the entire nation to be ready before it starts. It takes a few voices, and that sort of goes louder and louder. And I think this way, I think to me, after having done all this work with nature and all that, it is not go about in a bitter and sort of negative manner about what's bad in our environment, what's bad about our government, or what's bad about all these people not looking after the environment, but to engage in a very positive way, in a way full of respect for the very nature of the thing itself. So I think moving forward in this manner, reaching out to the young and in ourselves, that's really positive. And I'm quite sure, this movement will grow as people find more to learn from the environment.
Can I say something here? With the wisdom of hindsight. Timing is very important. If you live long enough, like I have, you can see the trajectory of idealism. Right? Singapore has never lacked idealism, and I can see it in the young people, what you all say. There's idealism. But the early idealism that's at the point of independence, many of them went to jail, many of them died. Many of them, their spirits were crushed. A draconian order took over. So that idealism is finished. The next lot of idealism was, Tan Hwa Piao's idealism. That was also killed. So, because timing was wrong.
Yeah.
Okay? The question now is that, is the timing right now? You see? What is the question that I ask myself when I hear all you guys talking about community participation, design, and all this. Is the timing right? If the timing is wrong, then it will hit the wall. It will hit the wall. Okay? I think the timing is right. I think the timing is right because there's a global crisis.
Yeah.
Singapore was successful because it was part of the American flag. Now the Americans are a mess. So, are we part of the China flag? Okay. I'm doing some work in Sri Lanka. China is building one of the biggest military base, naval bases, disguised as a major port in the south of Sri Lanka. Right? And they finance the entire war. So the Chinese Navy is going to be there. Chinese Navy is going to control the Indian Ocean, alright? Or at least share the Indian Ocean with the Americans. So that's the picture. Where do we stand in that picture? I think we'll decide what happens to the ideas.
Now my question is China doing good?
All nations are amoral.
Actually, I think herein lies one point. Are we people with backbones?
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, the history of idealism in Singapore, Singaporeans have never lacked a backbone. It's just that the backbones get crushed.